you were the egg inside the belly of your mother when she was a baby, a fetus, while she was in your grandmother. So if your grandmother lived through famine, scarcity, fear,
Wow.
your mother felt it and so did you. How are you?
I'm grounded. I feel excited to be able to have this conversation now. Um, I feel ready to learn and expand. I'm excited that we've made it happen. You know, we're in different timelines right now, different parts of the world. So thank you for being here.
That's it. I think it's echoing.
You might just want to just turn down your phone volume.
Turn down my phone volume. Okay.
Yeah. Guys, we're doing this, by the way. Look, 38 people. We're doing
Yes.
TikTok, Zoom, and Instagram. Yeah. So just bear with us, but it's going to be worth it. But the Zoom is the main one here. So yeah, that's better. I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent.
Perfect. So we've been in contact for a while now, a few days, and you've just shared with me your beautiful book, and it's only a few pages long, and I know already it shifted me completely, completely made me aware of the different cycles within the woman, and yeah, I'm just happy that you can discuss this with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Indy. I've been following you for a while and watching your journey. So thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate it. And actually, I think we've just broken some barriers here. You're a young man reaching out for womb wisdom. Of course, I'm going to say yes.
Mhm. Mhm. Thank you. Yeah, more men need to know about this stuff, truly, because um, just the knowledge of our own bodies is so skewed up and backwards. We live in an upside down world, you know, and often the patriarchy is actually just underdeveloped men, little boys, and they're trying to find, you know, goddesses and queens, and we just have no idea what's happening. So yeah, let's try and clear up some of this confusion today. Actually, could I read maybe just one of the pages from your ebook for the people? It was so powerful to me and so crystal clear what we need to do.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and by the way, anyone that wants this ebook,
Sure. Go
um,
ahead.
it's going to be able to be shared out. So let me just read this. 1 second. So let me know if you can see this on your screen. Yeah.
Yes, I can see it.
How to love a cyclical woman. Okay. Understanding her rhythm, deepening trust, and creating intimacy. And this is so important, sister, because more than ever, women need to find the safety within men. And it's so hard to when we're demasculated, angry, violent, whatever it is, yeah, toxic, because we don't even know ourselves. And men need to be able to find the safety and intimacy in a woman as well, you know, so that their own inner feminine can start to blossom. But let me just read this because this is so beautiful. Before a man was a man, a woman, sorry, before a man was a man, he lived inside a woman's body. Before he had words, he knew the rhythm of her heartbeat. Before he entered the world, he lived inside the waters of the womb. This is why womb wisdom is not only women's wisdom, it is a human wisdom. Every man began in the womb. Every man was carried. Every man was nourished by the body of a woman. And yet, so many men were never taught to understand the womb, the menstrual cycle, or the emotional rhythms of the women they love. They were taught to stay outside of it, to avoid it, to joke about it, to dismiss it. But when a man begins to understand her cycle, he comes closer. Wow.
Yes, that's it. So every man has come from the waters of a woman. And I've got a diagram here that I'm going to show. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not just your mother. So this is your grandmother, your
Wow.
mother's mother.
Hmm.
This is your mother
Wow.
while she was in the belly of your grandmother.
Hmm.
And halfway through the pregnancy, when your mother was in her mother's womb, all the eggs she was ever going to have are formed. And one of those eggs is going to turn into you.
Wow.
So, whatever your grandmother was experiencing and living through, Your mother felt, and so did you, as an egg. And one of those egg was going to become you when the sperm meets the egg. And that's the red thread. It lives in men and women.
The red thread.
Yep.
Okay, wow.
And it goes, and then the grandmother was in her grandmother's belly. So that's how memory and strengths and weak traumas are passed down through generation, through generation, through generation. And when we understand it, some of our emotions aren't even ours.
Wow. So it's like it could
So,
I could be dealing with my grandmother's resilience, maybe, is why I'm a resilient person,
yes,
but also her some of the weaknesses she might carry, for instance, maybe could be passed down to me, even though I'm the son.
exactly, because you were the egg. You were the egg inside the belly of your mother when she was a baby, a fetus, while she was in your grandmother. So if your grandmother lived through famine, scarcity, fear,
Wow.
your mother felt it and so did you.
So is
And we aren't taught this. Women aren't taught this either. I only recently found this out in the last 7 years of my
mm,
life.
mm,
And then I went back to see where my grandmother came from. And she came from a little village in India, working as a farmer. And my mother was born in India. And then she came to England with a baby. Her nervous system was fried from that
wow.
moment.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, that's better. There's no echo now.
Okay. Yeah. Better.
Yes, so there was my mum. Okay, I was born in her belly. So I was in my grandmother's belly, and so are you. And this is the red thread no one tells us about. Even women don't know this.
Mm, wow.
Once you understand it, so if you were born in famine, in scarcity, in slavery times, you are feeling all those emotions, even though your life may look completely different. Your nervous system still feels that familiarity to fear, to vulnerabilities, to scarcity,
Yeah. Yeah.
to the fear of speaking your truth.
Wow. And that's literally it's interesting. I was just watching an experiment called the cherry blossom experiment, and basically, unfortunately, they did this to mice, but they would create trauma for mice and then associate it with the smell of cherry blossoms. Yeah, and now even 2 generations on, even if the children of the mice were adopted to different mice parents, them mice would react with fear as soon as they smelt the cherry blossoms. So that's just how seeing
Yes,
how trauma can be passed down through experience, let alone
yes,
this idea of the red thread, which is mind-blowing, really, which is literally my great grandma who went through famine or war and scarcity and the small me and being beaten by a patriarchal world. All of that comes into my DNA. But the question is, can we
yes.
rewire this?
Yes, you can. With awareness, once you understand this,
Mm,
you can break the pattern because you become aware of it and think, okay, I am not in survival now.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
My life is not in threat. I have food to eat. This is something inherited. And then you've got to make the conscious decision to say, this is not mine. I choose to end it. But then you've got the strengths you might want to keep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you've got strength and the other side. You've got both.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not all just something you want to get rid of. It's picking and choosing the best parts of, what's been
Yes.
passed down to you and recognizing
Ye-
when your traumas or your reactions might not actually be coming from you. Wow, this is profound.
Yes, they don't come from you. And then when you change the future generation
Wow.
because you move forward. You're not just carrying it on. It's like you become conscious of it. And
Hmm.
then with that consciousness, you choose to change your pattern. And it's practice.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I had the fear of speaking my truth because I was brought up in a very patriarchic culture, the Indian culture. So I never used to speak my truth. And this journey of mine coming online, speaking, right in my book, this is the main book, I've learned to open my throat chakra and speak my truth.
And
Whereas in
that's
my past life,
mm,
I might have been punished for that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see this in this lifetime for many people, men and women. It feels like a throat activation lifetime where we can finally safely communicate our truths. But we need the courage to do that, and we need to almost work on it because it's literally, like how many women in your bloodline had to be suppressed in a patriarchal Indian society, for instance. And you're the first to actually be able to
Yes,
speak out. Wow. Yeah.
yes. So I had to go through my work to speak my truth. And I had to go through the red thread to understand where it came from. This really changed everything because then I realized this stuff's not all mine. It's something I inherited through my bloodline and also a system that was never designed for women's bodies. The patriarchy came along, okay, and changed the calendar
Wow.
from a 13-month calendar, because we had 28 days in a woman's cycle. The
Wow.
calendar was changed to a 12-month calendar with 31 days, 30 days, and 28 days and 29 days. So the woman disconnected from the earth, wisdom. And that happened in the 15th century. And then slowly, slowly with time, we forgot that we are cyclical beings. We're part of nature.
I remember
We are nature.
when I was 19 years old, my first ever girlfriend, and she was on the pill for like 3 years straight. And I remember at that young age, just going, this can't be right. It cannot be right to like block up everything in your body for such a long period of time. When what I was being told at that age, women are in tune with the moon. And more children are pregnant on a full moon. Children are born on a full moon and stuff. So I was thinking, if the woman's body and biology is so in tune with nature, then how dangerous really spiritually is a pill? And how lazy is it for a man to want his woman to go on a pill just so he can have sex with her whenever he wants? It just really is it's almost satanic actually to me when you really realize how sacred the woman's body is and what we're doing, just numbing it and chucking these tablets down our throat. It's really quite
And
overwhelming.
then, yes, and this is where trust, because now when the pill came in the 60s, it actually changed the economy. We thought we were getting freedom, and we
Yes.
did get freedom to some extent, okay? But what actually happened, it was a system that wanted two people working, two lots of taxes, two lots of mortgages, because then couples split up.
Yeah.
It was all about making money and keeping us enslaved in exhaustion. And now we're in a situation where the mother cannot stay at home with the kids
Yeah.
because both people have to work just to put a roof over your head and feed your children.
Mm, mm.
And there's a lot of single mothers as well now. So it's making it impossible. And when you're exhausted and your nervous system is running on fear,
Yeah.
you can't decide and you can't think of this stuff because all this stuff takes time and energy to go through.
Yeah. 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 Wow. Yeah.
You know, you've got to be in tune with yourself. And that's why we're in a situation now where exhaustion is peaking for women, especially.
Mm.
They're looking after kids, they're going to work, they're doing everything. This is not normal.
And it's what some people would say in this Babylon system that actually this is equality and that this is females rising to the level of males, and this is so-called feminism, right?
Well, it's not because our bodies are exhausted.
Mm.
We're not supposed to be doing parenting in isolation. We're supposed to have the village supporting us.
Yeah, that's so
And the
true.
moment we're born, we go into a hospital system.
Yeah.
The cord is cut too soon while the
Wow.
placenta is still pulsing.
Wow.
Therefore, the immune system gets compromised in the baby. The baby comes out from the womb thinking, where am I? Under survival mode, going straight into nervous system
Bright
tapped.
lights. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then that carries on for the rest of the life. Because if you enter the world like that, and then they give the scissors to the dad to cut the cord.
Wow. Yeah.
And the cord, there was an ancient process where the placenta is kept onto the baby until the cord goes white. When the cord actually falls off, it was called lotus birth. And then the placenta is put back into the earth under a tree. But all those rituals have gone because it doesn't want us, the system doesn't want us connected to the earth. We are part of nature.
And also connected to your own offspring in a deeper way, right?
Yeah,
As many women have told me, when they've learned about how to give birth in a much more sacred and sovereign way, they have there's an undeniable shift in relationship from their first children, where they gave birth
yes,
on their back in a hospital in what I consider
yeah,
a ritual, a satanic ritual, and then at home birthed with the family or doula, and allowed the child to be on their body, skin to skin contact, having the
yes,
placenta, eating the placenta, all of these things that women, whatever you want to choose to do, and there's a noticeable connection between that child as they,
yes.
and it's undeniable.
How you're born affects your rest of your life and your relationship as well. So all this stuff is women need to learn it, but also men need to learn it too. So when you're in that situation, you're able to support your woman going through it. And when you start practicing menstrual cycle awareness in partnership, there is a deep level of trust involved.
Menstrual
Because
cycle awareness, and that's something that can be
yes,
practiced in a partnership. Yeah, menstrual
yes.
cycle awareness. Wow. Okay.
Women can practice this and get in tune with their rhythms monthly. But when you're in partnership, if you practice it in partnership, there is a deep, deep level of connection because you can be getting pregnant. So if you don't want to get pregnant, you practice with menstrual cycle awareness and you understand the woman, you understand where she's at. If she's bleeding, it's time to rest and she might need different types of care, yeah? And when she's finished bleeding, she's starting to come out into the world. When she's ovulating, she's charismatic, intuitive, blooming. And then afterwards,
Wow.
after ovulation, she's more a bit, like sees truth more. So
Hmm.
if you get yourself a woman that is intact with her cycle, right, you're entering a different frequency together.
Oh my God, Shavita, I'm not gonna lie, you're giving me full body tingles. This is what I pray and dream for in my future, whoever she is, partner. You know,
Yeah.
for her to be in tune with her own cycles, for me to
Yes.
be in tune with her own cycles, and I guess they're reflected within me. We can maybe discuss that somehow. But for us to both be able to study together. And I've always said,
Yes.
there's a bit of a craze right now, especially in black men in the UK, to just get the snip. Yeah, and I consider it
Oh,
as it's another satanic thing that's happening. They're just pushing it, If once you've had your children, just have the snip. And it's so lazy. And what you've just said is the answer. Menstrual cycle, like
awareness.
awareness together, meaning we can make
Yes.
love, we can do tantra on this specific date. Maybe and we'll talk about this, the four different inner seasons within the woman. But once you pick your correct season to make love, do whatever you're doing, you can't be lazy. You have to be, there has to be wisdom there. But that way, you don't have to have the snip, which basically cuts off your life force, your chi, no more tai chi, anything that's gone out the window. If you're a man, all your life force has
Yeah.
just been gone. And then also this way you can practice, I'm guessing, safe tantra without the fear of basically getting pregnant every
Yes.
single time, if you just have a bit of wisdom and dignity and learn about each other's bodies and the
Yes.
cycle. Oh, wow.
And then you become so much deeper connected.
Yes.
But they don't teach you this.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Wow.
practiced this most of my life. I had 2 years maybe when I took the pill because I didn't know, but intuitively I knew something deeper was going on.
Wow. Wow.
And then you can't just swap and change partners. It just limits your connections are much deeper.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't just have random. There's got to be trust there for both people.
And, you have for me, there has to be some love. I'm not saying that every person I sleep with, it has to be the one forever and I love you deeply. I'm not saying that everyone has to go into it that deeply, but for me, there has to be respect and love. I can't just enter someone's body on a one night stand or from a dating app if I don't know about your ancestors? I don't know what you stand for. I don't even know what medicines are in your body since 2020. There has to, unfortunately now, or fortunately, there has to be a bit of a process, a screening process um, with your
Yes, so
lovers.
when you find your partner, this is something you can really practice and it really helps build trust. You're able to understand her better. She respects you and trusts you in a deeper level because your bodies are connected and every time you come together, you could be given life.
Oh,
You know,
yes,
it's not a
exactly.
light thing.
It's not like, no.
So, and then it just takes your relationship to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, and as a man, he has to know how to control himself, not just in the bedroom, but that skill is outside the bedroom too.
It's wow, yeah, it's so true because I know not to be trying to like, maybe turn my partner on in a specific time when it's just not going to be valuable for both of us if she's just going to
Yeah,
get pregnant or so. So it's like having that kind of intuitive, symbiotic relationship with your lover so that you can know and also know how to support them. So maybe could you actually I'll pull it up so people can see on the screen, but the four seasons within the woman. Let me just open this up because if you could explain.
yeah. The four inner seasons.
I heard about this. I was with a lover once that spoke about this, and so it kind of opened me up to
Here
it.
we go. This is a good diagram to show.
Beautiful.
So it's like the seasons of the weather, okay?
Okay.
You got winter where you're bleeding, time for rest, release, and turning inwards.
Hmm.
So she might need more nurturing and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
Then after that, you got the inner spring where she's coming out into the world. She doesn't want to hibernate. She's been there, she's rested. Now she's coming out. It's time for renewal, clarity, new beginnings. What does she want to bring into the world? What do you as a couple want to bring into that month?
Wow. Yeah.
Then you got the winter and the summer is when you're radiant, connection, expansion. This is when you can have a baby, you can co-create. Now, this doesn't have to be babies. You could co-create a project together.
Okay. So it could be like, yeah, like spiritual projects, work projects.
Yeah,
It's a
a
time of
work
creativity.
project. So when I was working, I'd have my main meetings around my ovulation because I know I'm at my peak.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after that, you got your autumn. It's time to reflect. Okay, what worked? What didn't work? What do I need to let go of?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And you prepare for rest. And then you go back into winter. So you do this month after month. So every month you have an opportunity to create something. And it doesn't have to be a baby. You can create something together. You can create a project, I don't know, a business project, or your partner could be working on something and she's going to bring it out for that month. You know, in her ovulation time, she's going to be presenting or talking at that time of the month.
And Shavita, is it literally where it says at the top new moon? That's the time mostly for the inner winter and the inner springtime, or can it
So
change?
yes, so in a winter is the new moon. It's the darkest time of the moon, and summer is the full moon. So
Wow.
when I stopped bleeding as a postmenopausal woman, because I used my cycle, I started following the moon. It gives me my rhythm.
So is this rhythm? Is it quite a universal rhythm? So for instance, we've just left this weekend a full moon. So would that mean
Yeah.
the women that are in tune with their self, most of them will be in their summer, meaning that is the time where they're most radiant and creative around the full moon?
So the full moon, before the patriarchy or the calendar was changed, most women used to bleed around the moon. Now, another thing that's really important, you know,
Wow.
when women work together and live together, they bleed together.
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard
There's
this. When
this
women work
energetic,
together, they bleed together. Wow. Yeah.
yes. Now, there's this energetic communication without even words.
Wow.
So, when a woman, and most women know this, when you work together closely or you're living with another woman who's cycling, you usually end up having your menstrual cycle at the same time.
Yeah.
And the woman with the most regulated nervous system bleeds first and says to people, other women, it's safe for you to bleed now.
Wow. Okay. But let me say that again. The woman with the safest nervous system is often the
The
first to
most
bleed.
regulated nervous system bleeds first, and then
Wow.
she sends an energetic message to the other ladies, you can bleed now, it's safe.
Wow. And when you say safe, are you talking about literally safe environment? Is that what you mean?
Safe meaning you can soften,
Okay.
and maybe back in the day it might have been safe in the environment
And
because
yeah,
remember,
yeah.
this is all thousands of years old.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So women used to work with the seasons of the year, they had seasons of the month.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And this was all changed because women are connected to the earth. And when a woman is connected to the earth, you can't pull the wool over her eyes. She's
Yeah, yeah,
intuitive.
yeah. Wow.
So now we've got to a situation where we have forgotten this wisdom, but it's coming back because a lot of women are remembering this and they're looking for men that can honor this too. And when you get the man creating safety for her to bleed and honor this cycle, because relationship is about creating safety, yeah?
Wow. Yeah.
Men create safety, women create peace, and then we create heaven on earth.
Oh, and you can see, respectfully, why they are doing everything they can to confuse young men and young women to who they truly are, what their gender is. Let's get everything upside down because,
Yes,
just an integrated divine man, integrated divine woman combined, the polarities. That is where Jah returns. That is the presence of the Most High God to me. That connection.
yes. And then what happens to those children? They're born free.
And then them children are born free and and sovereign.
They're born free because you've done the inner work. You've done this inner work
The red thread work. Wow. Yeah.
together.
Let me, if I can, Shavita, read page 2 because this is what, and this is for the men. Yeah, listen to this
Yeah,
specifically.
go.
This is how we want to be. When he understands her rhythm. So I think
Yeah.
this is your word. So it says he learns how to listen instead of fix. How profound. How many men would just go to the, let's get us some tampons or whatever and just, oh my God. He learns how to listen instead of fix, how to support instead of judge, how to meet her instead of fearing her changes. And a lot of underdeveloped basic men, they think blood is nasty. It's like, oh, she's a bitch this month. It's so crazy how we've decided to label this shift, which is actually so
And
safe.
it's not anybody's fault. It's just we're not blaming anybody here. It's just the system we were
Yeah,
brought and programmed in. But now we have the awareness to learn differently.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, we've all been there. I've been there, you've been there. We did things unconsciously because we didn't know any better.
yeah.
And we're not blaming our mothers or our grandmothers. It's no one's fault here. We are here with awareness so we can change the pattern with ourselves. And then when we change, it ripples through the people around us.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's literally that just the smallest butterfly effect can shift everything. So let me finish this here. It says,
Yes,
because her cycle is not just about her period, it can affect her energy, emotions, sensitivity, desire, need for rest, need for space, and need for intimacy. When her rhythm
yes,
is ignored, she can feel alone in her body. When it is honored, she feels seen. And when a woman feels seen in her body, trust deepens. This guide is an
yes.
invitation to come closer with curiosity, tenderness, and presence. Because the womb is not only a woman's story, it is the beginning of every human story. Bumba clot. Oh, if only we could all really, really see this. The balance between the patriarchy and the matriarchy would just restore. If every single man recognized deeply that we came from women, and
Yes,
I think it's the fear of the goddess and the power and the intimacy and the emotions which make, in a way, men reject women or try and stampen and control a woman because it's I guess it's
but that's
easier.
where the inner work comes. That's where the inner work comes in because it's not about control or who's better or who's right or who's wrong. It's about being peaceful. And women, if you can create life, you can create peace. We can create a new earth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But men have the job of creating safety.
wow, yeah,
Because when a woman feels safe, she can create a beautiful home. So the man can go out into the world and conquer, and he knows he's got a safe place to come back, which is peaceful.
yeah, wow,
So even if you've had a shit day at work, you come back to a peaceful home. it just motivates you to do better.
And you know what, Shavita? I've been, thinking about what do I want in my partner, as I'm looking for that person now. Not looking for them, but I'm ready, for love, intimacy, whatever. And I'll be honest, I've been, I want traditional roles to some extent, and I'm not saying I want a woman in the kitchen and I'm out there in a building site, but I love the nurturing of the man as he comes back from the battlefield. Let's take it back more tribal slightly. He comes back, this is a spiritual warrior in a way. And for me to
And
know, go on,
yeah,
please.
you know what you said? Like, I was a stay-at-home mum after having a career in financial planning. It was very hard for me to shift my mind because stay-at-home mums have got a reputation. Like, you feel like, oh, what am I doing? I'm not even doing anything, because we've been
Yeah.
programmed to believe that if you're not earning money, you're not worthy. But it's the most valuable job in the world because you're creating a new generation of beings.
It's the most profound job. It's also the most
Yes,
difficult job. Like
yes, it is.
24 hours you're working, you're not getting paid, you have to be able to react at any moment. If I saw something on Instagram, if someone was to advertise that job without telling you it's for children, you would think that they're mad. Who would ever do a job like that? It's the most complex, difficult job, you know?
And you know what? It's an investment in your children.
Wow. Yeah.
It's an investment. It's the greatest investment. Even though I didn't think of it at the time, it was an investment in my children.
Yeah.
And forget the money. Who cares? The money, you can earn money anytime. But that time, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah. And it really is, you'll never see your beautiful daughter again as a 2-year-old toddler, and
No.
do you really want to miss that so that you can become the regional manager of like Greg's the bakery or whatever it is? Because
Yeah, but the man has his role to play in this too.
Mhm.
The man has to go out and create the safety so she doesn't have to worry about the basic stuff. And she makes
Wow.
sure the home's cozy for when the man comes home. It's nice and warm and cozy and loving and repairing and nurturing.
You're just taught this is the dream. This is truly the dream. And do you know what? It's some for a man, yeah, I'll be honest, it's almost a bit scary to say that that's the dream because of the way that the world has made us feel like, no, women shouldn't be doing that. And actually, men and women should be totally balanced. And maybe I should be at home cooking for her. And of course, I would love to cherish, nurture, and honor my wife or my lover. But it has become, I found myself when I'm talking to women slightly nervous to say to them, I want traditional roles, man and woman, children. I'm out
But you
there.
know what? You will find that traditional woman and you just can't, you just tell the truth what you want. Why lie? This is what you want. If they don't accept it, you just move on, because that's what you want. Why should you compromise?
You're 100% right. And it's funny, the more I've been saying this, especially to like, very powerful women that think like us, they also, it seems there's like a rebalancing happening where that's what they want to as well.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
they want a
And
king and a warrior and a lover and a magician and someone that they can defend them and that isn't demasculated, you know?
but then and the woman can step up if she needs to. I mean, we could all do it, I can go back to work if I wanted to. I can step up if I have to.
Yes.
But yeah, it's not like you're on your own, but it's a divine union and it's not all hunky-dory and lovey-dovey. Of course not all the time.
I get it. Yeah, yeah.
It's not.
Wow.
I mean, I've been married for 20 years. It's not all lovey-dovey and hunky-dory. Sometimes I'm going mad.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But I've made that commitment to do that because I wanted to.
Wow.
Because I knew if I went to work, who's going to look after my kids when there's school holidays?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and otherwise they'll be neglected. This way I can keep an eye on their friends, what's going on.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
there. I'm watching everything going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the divine union, and we've forgotten it. We're just remembering how things used to be. Now, I'm not just saying, the man is his role is this, the woman's role is that, and you put up with abuse. No, it's respect. Both mutual respect is
Hmm.
required.
Yeah. Yeah. So like for me, I'm 32 right now. What advice would you be giving me so that I can approach each woman with the most wisdom and compassion and sensitivity to because also not many women are even aware of this. There'll be times when I'm now more aware of the inner cycles of a woman than she is because I've had this beautiful conversation with you. This is still quite pioneering, trailblazing information to come for us to be remembering because we already know it, right? It's just we're
Yeah,
remembering this. So yeah,
yeah.
do you have any advice on how I can?
Do you know what the best thing you can do is do your inner work first.
Oh, I
When
mean,
your when your nervous system feels safe enough to attract that frequency into your life, it will come your
wow.
way.
So
Yeah?
make sure that my own nervous system is settled and grounded and safe.
Yeah. And when you reach that point within yourself, the woman, your partner will just come.
Wow.
I didn't meet my husband until I was 35, and I knew I needed to do my inner work to attract who I wanted to be. I had to meet him there.
Hmm.
I can't have a list of things I want without me being that person myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you've done your inner work, and then when you've done your inner work, when you come together, there's more inner work to do because they will show you things you can't see on your own.
Yeah, well, your lover can be in a way they can see your blind spots, right?
Yeah.
And then
And
also, I'm guessing you know, there's a book I read called The Celestine Prophecy by James Redfield.
yes, I've read that 2 years ago.
Beautiful book, but it talks about how most people in Babylon, it's like a half a circle trying to find another circle to make them a complete
Yeah.
person. But actually, you're complete already. I'm complete already. And when you can find
Yes.
another complete person, now you make like a superhuman. But that superhuman now creates new problems and challenges because now you're a unit and you're a team together. And so that's a whole new frequency.
They see, I believe we're here to evolve as individuals, yeah?
Mm,
Yeah, we're here to see what we need to see and to move through it and work through what we need to work through so we can move through the next part of once we can go through the portal of death free of our burdens. Yeah.
wow, yeah.
Yeah. So when a partner comes in, they crack you open in a way you can't be cracked open yourself because you'll be challenged.
Yeah.
But instead of running, you say, okay, I feel this and that person feels this. How do we work together to heal?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
And it's ongoing all the time as you're changing. It's all nice when you're single and you're on your own. You add a baby into it and sleepless nights and money problems.
Oh my God. And money problems. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah,
But
and then egos come in as well, and then you just got to, one person has to soften, the other person has to do. So it's as long as you both don't want to leave at the same time. One person might want to leave, and the other person goes, no, 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 and you stay. And then the other person might want to leave, and the other one says, no, 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 no. But if you both want to leave at the same time, that's the problem.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, 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 yeah. Because then it's kind of game over, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
But you make that commitment, you just say, okay, this is what we're going to do. It's like everybody's different, everybody's journeys are different.
So I'm also guessing, I'm assuming you wouldn't be advising, me to be suggesting that any lover I have goes on the pill. That's out of the bit. That's out of in the bin now, surely.
It depends on whatever you want in your life. Everybody's journey is different. Because you're just, when you're in your long-term relationship, you can even present her, listen, I've heard about menstrual cycle awareness. Would you be open to that? Because I think it would make our relationship more stronger and more intimate and trust. And you can share your vision of what you want.
Yeah.
And when you find that woman, she will say yes,
Because
because that's the frequency you're attracting.
I have visions of like the women I find free bleeding into the grass in a yurt with other women, for instance. Like,
Yes,
so the idea of taking a pill, I mean, respectfully, we're just in different frequencies. You know what I mean? And it's interesting speaking to you now. I feel confident to be able to say this. Not in an egoic way, but actually to be able to admit it to myself. This is what I want. This is my requirement. I don't want someone that's blocking themselves up with matrix pills. I want someone that's so in tune that they're happy to free bleed, and not putting
yeah.
microplastics inside of them to try and block it up.
And then free bleeding was quite normal before.
It was, yeah, that's what
It was normal in temples and stuff. And in our culture, when a woman bled, she never even went into the kitchen because it's her rest time. But we've lost all that. And, poor women, they're bleeding and they're still working and working out. No, that's your time to rest.
It's so true. Or like when they're, how many people they may be in tune with their cycle, but their life and the environment doesn't allow them
Yes.
to respect that cycle. So yes, you may be in tune with it. You might not be taking any contraception or anything like that or pills, but you're a manager in a massive building in Canary Wharf, bossing life
Yes.
when you should be in bed, or something.
And
Wow.
you should be resting and nurturing. So our system, our environment does not promote a woman's body. It was never designed for a women's body.
Can I just say, I've just had someone here said, I'm nearly 60 and I've just learned something new in the comments. That's so
Oh,
beautiful,
that's so
Nikki.
good.
How
Look, you
powerful.
always learn. This whole journey of life is constant learning because we're not learning, we're remembering.
We are remembering. It's all within us, for
We're
sure.
remembering.
Yeah.
All this information, it was all in our bones. We can feel it in our bones.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what resonates. You can feel it. There's a stillness, your nervous system. I'll give you a very quick example. Sunday, I was watching a doctor called Dr. Yaki because my mum had silicone implants which exploded within her. Another thing that the patriarchy did, made women feel they had to change their bodies up and stuff. Anyway, I was watching this video and he said, I've been waiting for something to shift me out of eating the amount of flesh that I'm eating. I eat a lot of meat. And I've
Mm.
been waiting for something organically. Yeah, so I'm not forcing it. And he said one sentence and it just resonated. And he simply said, if you want a safe nervous system, you got to stop binding it with all of this, tortured meat. And that's all I need. Me and my mum were watching it, and we just both went ding, and we realized that's it. And I actually haven't had one bit of food since Sunday night since that. It was such a profound shift that I've just fasted since then. I'm like, I'm now ready to upgrade myself. It resonates. There's no resistance within me. And it's like this information you're saying, people are like 60 years old, Queen, and she's saying that imagine spending 60 years of your life as a female and not fully understanding your inner cycles, and that is the story, for most women. The NHS or the medical institutes are not teaching you this stuff because actually it makes them richer the sicker you are and the more out of tune with your cycle you are, right?
Yes, exactly. Of course, this should be taught at schools, but they don't want you to know that. Of course, they want you to be in a program so you become like a worker.
Yeah,
We're workers. We're enslaved workers.
yeah, yeah.
So if a woman was bleeding and she had 3 days off every month, wouldn't help the slave system, would it really?
What do you say to this? This is a beautiful, it's a message I've seen from many women, and I resonate, but I don't fully resonate. And it's that the matriarchal wave is coming. Do you like?
Yes.
I believe 100% there needs to be a rebalancing. But for me as a man, it's a balancing. It's not suddenly the matriarchy is now running things and the patriarchy is below that. I don't know what you think of that.
No, I think it's equal. We need both. We need the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
We need men to create safety so women can create peace and then we
Mm.
can create heaven on earth.
And that is a really a symbiotic, beautiful relationship. And that is to me very balanced, very equal, because
Yeah,
nothing.
and then the heaven on earth comes with the children that are born free.
Wow. Heaven on earth is
Yeah, so they
children born
haven't
free.
got this. They already remember. They already come into a world where they menstrual cycle awareness is practiced like a default.
Wow.
They come into a world where they're not exhausted. They come into a world where they're not taught by a school system. They're taught by their dad who's doing a trade and he learns from him. They don't need a
Wow.
certificate
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like how it used to be. Yeah. And you help your neighbors out and you live in a village.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when a woman has a baby, she's not doing it on her own. She's got a whole aunties, uncles, cousins, neighbors all helping.
And well, that's also another thing, isn't it? It's the epidemic of the family being broken. The man, a
Yeah.
lot often the father's no longer present, and then there's a single mother trying to raise often boys. And the strength that single mothers have is insane because you're
Yes.
right. It should be actually in a tribal sense. So even if the father's not there, you've got auntie, uncles, friends. It's,
Yes. And it's not the poor single mothers. It's like, how are you supposed to do all this?
I
How
don't
are
know
you
how you
supposed to
guys
do
do
it?
it. It's insane.
Yes, you're not supposed to be living like this in isolation.
And
And
then
when you work in a village, you have strength.
you do. And
Yeah.
when the child is raised in a village, the mother can still retain her own creative independence, if that makes sense. So often mothers lose their sense of identity and what they want to do creatively with their life. They just become the mum because there's no father, and everything from the moment the child is awake to at nighttime, they're having to be mum. And often you see so many of them losing the sense of self,
Because there's no time, there's exhaustion.
exhaustion. Fuck. Yeah.
It's exhaustion, and we're not, and the nervous system is under attack because you're trying to keep on top of everything. It's not fair. This is not how we're supposed to be living.
Wow. Yeah.
It's not how we're supposed to be living. It's just exhaustion. And we were given the illusion of independence, but I think it's just exhaustion. So we're one way we've got something, but in another way we haven't,
Exactly. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? So the more men learn about this, and women learn about it and they come together with this understanding of how things used to be, the more slowly we create community. When one couple does it, another couple might follow, and this is how it grows.
And to be honest, this it's just so essential, so essential. I'm starting a conscious like tantra dating event soon, and talking to you has made me realize, first of all, the trillions of things you can do before penetration and trying to teach stuff that. But like for man and woman lovers to sit in front of each other, actually, let's have a look at your book because you've given a beautiful example of ways that couples can actually bring this knowledge together and like
Mm.
people say, "Oh, you start a tantra event." I'm like, yeah, just to make people like most couples can't even look in each other's eyes for an extended amount of time. Most people haven't just sat there and done eye gazing. Simple, one
Mm.
song and look into the soul of the person and to really get to know the soul of the person. To me, that's more intimate than sex. So
Of course.
exactly, and so it's like if we're simply doing some eye gazing and having and learning about your lover's 4 inner seasons, could that alone could be one of the most profound shifts that you could have.
Yeah, but remember, sex has been distorted now.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like Uber Eats almost.
Wow. Uber Eats, it's so true.
Do you know what I mean? But it's not supposed to be that way.
Uber Eats. That's such a good way of saying it, but it's true. It's you can basically just order it now, right? Like online. There's literally apps where the display photo is your genitals. We've become like the frequency has dropped on purpose, and there is an attack on sex through
And it's not our fault as individuals. There has
yeah,
been an agenda programming us to go to make us believe this is normal.
deeply,
It's not our fault. Look
deeply.
at what we're living in, what we're watching, how we're moving through the world, the foods we're eating. We're so desensitized.
And people are struggling so much. So like the
Yeah,
rise of OnlyFans, which is
yeah,
is it's basically modern day prostitution. But it's so easy to make money and from the safety of your home, especially when they're giving us people like the Bonnie Blues and stuff, which are people are having sex with 1,000 men in a day now. And this, I can't imagine what it's like to be, the young generation, the young girls that I see, everything is so overly sexualized, the clothing that they're wearing, even the big stores in the UK for children, the clothing is becoming sexualized. Look at Balenciaga, what happened 2 years ago, where they was putting
yeah.
children into actual gimp
So
outfits.
it's all programming, subtle program. You watch it everywhere around, you become like this. But I think menstrual cycle awareness, you cannot be so promiscuous. You can't when you start practicing that.
It's so true. It's so true.
It limits your number of partners you can have in your life.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, menstrual
Because,
cycle awareness and tantra, them two things basically means you're going into a high frequency now. You're
so
allowing.
give them the brochure when you're doing your tantric, then show them that, give it out, let them learn.
I will. Let's open this now though, actually, because I definitely will.
Yeah.
Um, maybe can you see this? Maybe you could read this one on how to use it as a couple.
How to use this as a couple. Menstrual cycle awareness is not about tracking her so you can manage her. It's about understanding her so you can love her better. Once a week, sit together for 10 minutes. No phone, no fixing, no defending, just presence. Ask her, where are you in your cycle? How is your energy this week? What do you need more of? What do you need less of? Now, this question you can ask each other as well.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because men need this too, don't forget.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of intimacy feels good right now? What feels too much? How can I love you better this week? For women, this is not about apologizing for your rhythm, it's about honoring it. Now, this could work for men too, because men need to feel heard as well.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. And it's about honoring both the masculine and the feminine. And for men, this is not about getting everything right. It's about being willing to learn because she's not inconsistent, she's cyclical. And learning how to love through every phase is one of the deepest acts of intimacy.
Wow. Learning how to love her through every phase is one of the deepest acts of intimacy.
Yes. And that phase is on this menstrual cycle, it's a month, but that's in life too. Because you get the spring of your life when you're a teenager, when you're spring. Then you've got the summer when you're the maiden, the mother. And then you've got menopause, which is the autumn of a woman's life. And then you've got winter when she becomes the crone, the wise woman.
Wow.
So it's seasonal in a lifetime too. This is what I learned from some amazing women in my book, Seven Wonders of Menopause.
So can you show
So
that book so to people so let me so people can have a look.
this is the book I wrote. And when I wrote this book, I went deep into my remembering because
Seven
it's not just about
Wonders. Let's have a look at
of
that.
menopause. And have you heard of Dr. Vandana Shiva?
No, I've not actually.
She's in this book. Dr. Gladys McGarry, she was 103. She's in this book.
Wow. Wow.
So I've got the elder women that, and Jane Hardrick Collin, who taught me about the red thread, she's in this book. They're all elders who has wisdom and they've remembered. And those are the people I wanted to learn from.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No one my own age. I wanted to learn from the elders.
Wow. So where can people buy this book? Is it on your website
That's
or
on Amazon on my website, on my link tree, on my Instagram and stuff. And there's a womb wisdom guide as well. If a woman wants to learn her womb wisdom,
hmm
this is her guide.
Yeah. So this is
Because
what
that
I've
talks
been
about the moon as well.
this is not what is that what we've been reading from today?
No, this is a different one. The one I
Okay.
gave you is another one.
Okay.
And then I talk about how the body speaks to you.
Mm.
Yeah, our bodies are speaking to us all the time, but we suppress it with busyness and exhaustion. You can't hear the whispers of your body.
Yeah. 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 We numb our bodies, don't we? We don't even realize it, but we do.
With the air, with the water, with the food, with the things we put on our bodies,
Yeah. Exactly.
perfumes, deodorants, it all subtly numbs you and desensitizes you. And once you stop and reduce using those stuff, all of a sudden you're able to smell clearer, taste better.
Yeah.
Fluoride, the toothpaste you use, all of this stuff.
Yeah. 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 We do need some discipline and to be able to resist
It's
some of the
it's consciousness. Because
yeah.
I've changed all my products to natural products slowly, slowly, slowly. Now, when I go to the supermarket in the cleaning aisle, my eyes sting
Yeah. Even like just
because
even
it's,
like candles, if it's not
yeah,
like a certain kind of candle, it's just so bad for you nowadays. And you just
yeah,
realize,
beeswax candle is the natural one, but then the other ones. So all of it's all slowly, slowly, slowly. You can't change overnight. But if you just say, this month I'm going to change my toothpaste. This month I'm going to change my washing detergent.
yeah,
This month I'm going to change this. And slowly, 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 before you know it, you've changed the whole thing and you start becoming sensitive to the toxins and you can't have it in your body anymore.
yeah. You have to it kind of compounds over time, doesn't it? And you're right. You you purify and detox your body, and then your
Yeah.
frequency shifts, and then you can't be around it anymore. And you
Yeah. So how I did it was first with my food, then with my cream products, and then it was my cleaning products, then toilet roll, toothpaste, everything. And then you start detoxifying from people,
yeah, 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 yeah.
toxic people. You can't have them around either then because you
Hmm.
start falling in love with yourself
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
boundaries come up and you start picking up because your intuition gets activated and you can pick up Some people say nice things to your face, but wish bad upon you. And you can pick up on that then.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. It's so true. Wow. It's been a profound hour, sister. It's there's even that the fact that there's 60-year-old beautiful women that don't even know this information. I feel so honored to be a 32-year-old man to be able to have the capacity to even care about this stuff, if I'm honest. You know,
Oh, I have to give it to you, Indy. I really have to honor you for even reaching out to me and asking this question because as a young man coming up to a woman, postmenopausal woman, and asking this, I really condemn you for that, for saying that. And of course, I'm going to say yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's just something I wish that my th father had the confidence to kind of engage in and teach me about. And my father came from the porn industry. He had a like an empire that I found out about when I was 7 years old. And so, I'm coming from a kind of a very different world. And I think it's part of the reason I'm so fascinated about the sacred side of
Mm.
connection, sex, and also I've been very lucky to be around women in the past that have given me glimpses of this. I was with a girl once, and she would put her period blood on her third eye, and I'm the guy that just wasn't weird for me. I was kind of fascinated because I respected her and I wanted to know what it was about, even though
Mm.
it's a bit strange. And then so all of that has now led to kind of this conversation, which is just so beautiful and profound. And I know
Yeah,
that
and when a woman bleeds, she goes into an altered state of consciousness.
wow, yeah.
But we've all disconnected from it. So we're all remembering, and it's slowly, slowly remembering again, which is so good.
Wow. Well, thank you. Amazon, we can purchase your book from anyone that's
Yeah,
interested.
purchase it from Amazon. Go to my website. There's lots of stuff where you can learn this stuff. And I do a women's circle online for women who want to remember
Wow, that's going to be powerful as
once a
well.
month on the full moon. And I've made it so accessible for everybody. So, you can do it online and it's live and it's recorded if you can't make it live. And we work with the energies of the moon and it's on full moon. So every month you sit with yourself and you start creating a
Wow.
divine relationship with yourself. Because if you can't have that with yourself, how are you going to have it with anyone else? Yeah.
And are you realizing on this call, are women starting to enter their inner summer with you over the full moon? Are they sinking?
Yes. And also, the moon brings up things that you have to look at.
Wow.
It brings a torch to the thoughts and behaviors that you've been suppressing and you didn't even want to look at.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's deep
So
stuff.
what we'll do is, for anyone watching this will be on YouTube, but I'm gonna let's put that link under as well for your full moon, women's container. If anyone wants to
Yeah.
contact you, we'll put your book under the link as well. I have a book as well, called the Black Sheep Survival Guide. So anyone
I
that
like the idea of your book because we've all been black sheeps here to be here.
exactly exactly. And
I
so
was a black sheep and so are you. So it's not an easy journey showing up here, speaking our truth. So I do respect you for that because we've had to deal with so much to even show up to be
listen,
here right now.
Shavita, I'll end this by saying yesterday I watched a 3-hour conversation with a man who was talking about what's happening in the world and how we're leaning towards potentially a massive global crisis with the food and the war and stuff. And it's not about fear. I just wanted to, the reason I'm sharing this is I don't care anymore that, well, how I'm perceived by people. I'm going to speak my truth because I know what's happening in this world and I know my truth. And often the people that judge me or try and shut me down don't have a clue. They're screaming over football matches while I'm here preparing for, big shifts in society. And so I guess I've really realized when you authentically know yourself, you just don't care anymore. And I did a post recently which was a bit controversial, and I got a bit nervous, and I almost deleted it, and I lost 1,000 people in 10 minutes. But by the end of the week, I'd gained 10,000 more people. And so this truly is a time just to be your authentic self and to shine. And
And
like,
yes. And you know what I find? Whenever I get that fear, which it does come upon us,
yeah, it
it's a
does.
sign to do it anyway.
It's the sign to actually double down and go. I know.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it is. Every time I feel fear, it's like, no, you got to do this.
yeah, yeah.
Because fear is the frequency that this system, whatever it is, wants us to be in.
Hmm.
The
Hmm.
loosh energy is fear. And when you're not in fear, you change timelines.
It's so true. And people, if people knew that this is a spiritual war, and first of all, the
Yeah,
biggest currency that we're giving them is our fear, it really does shift and change everything up, you know.
yeah.
And you have to have it, and I'm sure you do. Like before we even started this, you blessed the space. We had our Palo Santo out.
Yes,
We were.
exactly.
It's like you have a. I can tell you have a. I don't know if it's a like you have a daily routine or you have a daily connection to the Most High. Somehow, your strength. You have a strong spiritual connection to Source, and that alone. You know, when people say, "Well, aren't you scared? You're exposing all these things." I'm saying, my God's stronger than theirs. My I don't have any fear of that. Like, you have to use wisdom, but this is the time to roar and to speak and to be your authentic
Do you
self.
know what it is? I read this book called How to Outwit the Devil. And one of the biggest things that stops you from living your life is fear.
Yeah, yeah, it's
So
so true.
every time I feel fear, I do it anyway. Because that's my signal, my higher self telling me this is something you got to do. And fear's coming to show you.
So true. It's so true. Yeah, yeah. And to be honest, I remember every moment since like 2020, for instance, where I've spoken out online, there's been that little twinge sometimes. And I've looked back and I've realized, wow, that was just actually my own. It was like the program surfacing within me, trying to stop me from going to that next level and like fear, fear, fear. And that's why all of these, most of the global religions in the world, you have to give up this life. Otherwise, you might go to hell. It's all fear, fear, fear. And man, there's really, when you,
Trust. We need to move in life with trust. And there's one thing that if you don't fear death,
yes.
you can live your life with trust.
Oh, beautiful.
That's it, because we're all going to die anyway, yeah. So you
Yeah,
might as well have a good time.
exactly. Yeah.
So if you don't fear death, you don't fear life itself. That's my motto.
Wow. Also, just to say, because of people, some people are asking, we've still got about 60 people watching live. Um,
I think you've
the
come off the live like somehow on
oh,
my
okay, this yours
Instagram.
has, but
Yeah, that's okay. You carry on.
what we'll do is we will put the PDF that you've created that I've been reading from. I'll chuck it on a Google Drive and send you the link. So under the YouTube video, people can then download that PDF and just study it
They
with your
can
partner.
download it. I want you share it as much as you want. It's yours to have because I created that for you.
Wow, I'm so so grateful, honored.
Thank you so much for reaching out, and I admire the courage it's taken for you to be here and for us to be speaking today. So thank you.
Thank you, sister.
Our paths will cross. I'll be in England soon, and as soon as I'm in England, I'm going to let you know once I decide the
Oh,
date
when we're
to
side by
catch up.
side, that's when
Yes.
it's dangerous. Yeah. All right, sister.
Until then, take care.
Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.